It's time for some Type 40, extra Type 40 video exclusive content with me, Dan Hadley, Birmingham's king of the geeks. Welcome back to the channel. Scrolling the view screen for the sights and sounds of the Hooniverse, the fixed and not so fixed talking points. And who's calling this time? Who's with me? Yes, you. The one with the grey hair? No, it's not you. It's her. Starry-eyed girl, Sarah Graham. You're not anywhere near as grey. In fact, you're not grey.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I didn't know, but I do. Capaldi has got great hair. I mean, let's give him that, and obviously Pertwee as well. So yeah, I don't mind the silver foxes.
There's hope for us all yet, everybody. There's hope for us all yet. So yes, we've got Peter there, but we are not going back to 2017 for this one. Are we, Sarah? No. We're going back a lot further, 30, 40 years further. In fact, to 1977. Can you believe it? Now, I actually remember 1977. I really do. These are some of my earliest memories of Doctor Who are from 1977, and one run in particular, a run of Doctor Who which has just finally been released onto Blu-ray in HD. We'll be talking about that. Obviously, these classic episodes of Doctor Who from 1963 all the way through to 1989, they've been released, haven't they, over the last 5 or 6 years. They started in 2018, didn't they, as part of the collection, the grand title that they give these lovely Blu-ray box sets. And they are, to be fair, they are very sumptuous, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, here's a friend of yours modelling an earlier one. But they are objects of desire, aren't they? That Doctor Who fans, we wait patiently for them to be released, and then we unwrap them, we display them, and build up the collection. That's the whole point, isn't it? And all over the world too, there are several different versions, but I think the UK one is considered the Rolls-Royce releases, aren't they? The limited edition sets.
Oh, they are. Oh, and yeah, it's a luxury item. Oh, it is absolutely gorgeous, and you know, if you can get. I mean, I made the mistake of not getting there fast enough on the first run. I didn't realise how hot they were going to be. So yeah, there are some that I've sadly missed out on. But yeah, there's no comparison. So you know, if you've got the chance, get the I mean, the gorgeous anyway, but the artwork, the attention to detail, just the number of extras and background. God, it could take years to sit and watch everything. That's the beauty of them. It is one beautifully packaged rabbit hole after another. It's fantastic.
So beautiful are these Blu-ray box sets, Sarah, that I often find that I open them only under duress.
Yes.
They look beautiful.
Me too.
Don't they?
Me too.
In their shrink wrap. So Sarah and I have formed a bit of a support group here. We're going to help ourselves through this, one another, through this trauma of actually opening one of these sets, because they do. They look beautiful, all sealed up like that. So we're going to unbox them. We're going to unseal them and unbox them together. So this is what is known on YouTube as an unboxing video, isn't it, Sarah? It's a new thing. I understand there's not many of them out there.
No, I don't think. No, it tends to be not with these. It seems to be not many of these. Yeah, it's usually random stuff like, I don't know. My boys were watching something with Kinder eggs and all the different toys and like them loot crates you get. I've not seen a Doctor Who collection unboxing, so yeah, we could be starting a trend here.
But I very much doubt that any of those chancellors have done what we're going to do and unwrap two at the same time.
Yeah. Okay.
That's how it's going to go. So yeah, this is the collection, season 15. Fabulous illustration of Tom Baker by Lee Binding on the front, Sarah. Each time you
gorgeous.
think Lee can't possibly outdo himself, the next one gets revealed and it's even better, isn't
it? It is. I mean, yeah, this is, as soon as I saw this, I actually think this is the best one. Yeah, the cogs, I just think it all just works beautifully. That, you know, this gold. Because when I think 70s, I do think of this kind of golden, brown and orangey kind of colour.
It's autumnal. I think autumnal. And I like the way as well that the jelly babies are sort of scattered, as if gravity has sort of taken hold of them.
Yeah.
And them right in front of us. Yeah, there's lots of little details. Something from each of the stories that are in this box set. Yeah. So remind us, Sarah, what have we got in the series 15 set?
So we have got Horror of Fang Rock, The Invisible Enemy, Image of the Fendal, The Sunmakers, Underworld, and The Invasion of Time.
The truth of the matter is that Doctor Who was at a bit of a crossroads during this period, wasn't it? We'd got one producer had pretty much been drummed out of the role by the National Viewers and Listeners Association, led by Mary Whitehouse. That was Philip Hinchcliffe, and Graham Williams. Graham Williams had come in with a flurry of activity, trying to not make something out of nothing as such, but to sort of right the ship, or at least take it into safer waters that would be viewed more favourably by Mrs. Whitehouse and by his superiors. So you'd think that it would have been compromising in some way for any creative to do that, particularly with a show that had been on for 14, 15 years at that point. I don't envy Williams this task at all.
No, and it must have felt like the impossible in some ways. And, that Hinchcliffe era was phenomenally popular. Yeah, obviously it was controversial, and it was hitting, the headlines for all kind of reasons because of Mary Whitehouse. But it was, millions of people were watching it. It was a success, and then to suddenly you've been brought in off a completely different genre of show, I think, as well. And being tasked with this science fiction, horror, fantasy show that you know nothing about. It must have been daunting. And then to have these restrictions on. I mean, we're finding it now with the kind of woke restrictions, how that can affect things. But so you can't be too scary, you can't show this, you can't do that. So where the hell are you meant to take this show? It really does. But I think there is a kind of a gradual slide.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't. I mean, when it starts, Horror of Fang Rock, you're in pretty safe territory there. It still feels like. I mean, I forgot that it wasn't a Hinchcliffe one, to be honest, because it feels very of that era. I'm guessing is that because of Holmes still. So you kind of get that very gradual, and the Invisible Enemy is very different again. But then as soon as you get to Image of Fendal, you're kind of back in that gothic horror thing. So it didn't feel to me when I look at it, it doesn't feel like the big drop off, because when I've heard previous fans talk about this, it was, as soon as you get to season 15. That's where the rot sets in. Oh, well, that's a bit disingenuous, I think.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's not the handbrake turn
No.
that season 18 would be, where literally everything changed. It's just as you described there. There's an ebb and a flow to it. It's a very gradual evolution. I won't say revolution, I'll say evolution of the show. And whilst it doesn't bring all the solutions, it does take the show forward, maybe forward before its time. K9, he would appear as part of this season. And whilst, I count myself as a considerable K9 fan. I mean, one of my most prized toys of my entire childhood was my talking K9 figure. Simon Horton is the biggest K9 fan ever. But there are lots of fans. There are lots of fans who it was this edition was kind of the not the switch off point, because I don't think they actually switched off. But it marked a watershed moment where perhaps this series wasn't necessarily for them anymore, which is a shame, isn't it?
For every fan that might have disliked him, I can understand why it was done. It is more child friendly. I suppose there is kind of like an element of Scooby doing it in a way. I can see why people be, oh no, really? Do we need this? It's worked fine before without a robot dog. But I can see it really appealing to children. It is weird how these moments happen.
A lot of the nostalgia for this particular period of time in Doctor Who's history, I think, for not just for people of my age, but I suppose for the slightly younger ones and the older ones, will, for better or worse, revolve around that drastic change in the dynamic there, the addition of K9 and that slight evolution to the stories, and having them come out on VHS and then DVD in that kind of piecemeal form, and in a slapdash order from all over the place. I enjoyed all of that at the time, but it does rob the viewer of that continuity, of seeing that progression. Ian Levine, for example, has been chomping at the bit for Simon Horton. He ditched the DVDs years and years ago because he saw that he was talking to me about Blu-ray box sets, God, 8-9 years before they actually announced them. So it was a long wait for Simon, but he was on the right lines. But this is the product that people wanted, wasn't it? And they come with their own gift. You can't literally go back to 1977 again, but you can experience the season in the broadcast order at your own pace and see that evolution that you were talking of, and sort of take it all in, which is the nearest thing you're going to get, isn't it?
It is, and it's wonderful because for me, it wasn't there at the time. This is exactly what I want to do, and I find it difficult with people that will get these box sets and then they'll just dive to a story that that isn't the first one. It sets my OCD. And seeing them out of order and context, it's quite difficult to appreciate these beats that we're trying to get to.
And at least now, however one may consume this stuff, whatever's your preference, however self-disciplined you may be, or OCD you may be about it, you can do whatever you want, can't you? It is literally up to you.
Well, it's all there for your selection. Although, having said that, now I've just reminded myself, with season 20, I went straight to the 5 Doctors, so they just put it out there. I'm a complete hypocrite.
So yes, this is a 7-disc set, 6 stories, and so much extra value added material. All the stuff that's carried over from the DVD releases, of course. Little recap to remind us what we have waiting for us behind the polythene and the cardboard there. So we have updated special effects exclusive to Blu-ray on the horror of Fang Rock. There are new episodes of Behind the Sofa. So that is the kind of goggle box umbrella series, isn't it? Where members of the cast from various series they sit down and they watch truncated versions, don't they? And we've got Louise Jameson, Colin Baker, Sarah Sutton, Janet Fielding, Matthew Waterhouse, Katie Manning, and we have Betson Roberts, who is the wife of the director Pennant Roberts. She's on there as well as the comedian Toby Hadoke. He's on there too. So that's a nice mix, isn't it, of people. Some of those dynamics, they're irresistible. Katie Manning and Matthew Waterhouse, that's going to be amazing.
Oh, that's going to be a brilliant one, because hopefully, poor Matthew will be able to speak. And
there's a feature-length look at the life and career of producer Graham Williams. It's called Darkness and Light, and it's been a labour of love for Chris Chapman, as I understand it. I've not seen this yet. It had its own premiere, didn't it, at the BFI? Because Graham Williams is a figure there's a lot of mystery surrounding Graham, isn't there?
Yeah, not a lot's known because this was before the kind of like celebrity, but this was before Russell T Davies, this was before J&T, so it was very much kind of behind closed doors. We're not privy to everything that went off.
Obviously, Chris Chapman's feature-length documentaries are always highlights of these releases. There's not one on each box set, but when there are, I must admit, those tend to be the things that I go straight for as well. They often frame the context of the other material really, really well, as do the conversations that Matthew Sweet has with the cast of Doctor Who. In this instance, he's talking to Louise Jameson, who played Leela so memorably in my childhood. And I'm expecting this to be quite playful. Louise is somebody, obviously a fiercely intelligent woman. She's very well renowned in her own right now as a producer and writer of audio dramas and various other things. So I'd imagine this is going to be not confined to Doctor Who, and will be as much about her as a person and how she views the entire sort of entertainment industry and the machine of it all. And Matthew Sweet obviously has been in broadcasting for a very, very long time. I think this is going to be absolutely fascinating.
And he's very good at, charming whoever he's talking to. She says, I'm fully expecting some good comments here. And I mean, Louise is lovely. There's more to Leela than, a pretty face and a costume. She was a well-rounded, intelligent companion. So yeah, I hope the conversation expands to more than just how badly women were treated in the 70s.
With Louise talking extensively to Matthew Sweet there and a presence in the Behind the Sofa episodes, you may wonder if there's room for Tom Baker. Anyway, it turns out there is. Tom does turn up in his own special feature called Tom Talks. It simply says that Tom Baker muses on life, the universe, and everything. Which,
well,
any other actor, you'd think, well, why? But with Tom Baker, you think, fine.
Yeah, I'll just
whatever he wants.
I'm happy just to listen. I mean, whatever Tom's got to say, it's going to be good for you.
The set is completed with the usual stuff, sort of audio commentaries, exclusive new audio commentaries recorded by Tom Baker. In fact, there's 5.1 surround sound mix of the horror of Fang Rock. There's some rare convention footage as well. Tom Baker's Blackpool exhibition links, rare archive treats, HD photo galleries, infotext, all that stuff, and all those PDFs. There's like thousands of the things. So yeah, depending on what you're into, there's going to be lots and lots of it waiting inside this box set. So yeah, this is actually, I was going to say a seminal year of the classic show. I think there's an argument to be said that each year of classic Doctor Who is becoming seminal now, becoming that important. And could that be because it's this range of releases that actually does a brilliant job of whichever era that it's covering, of really singing its praises and making it feel like not only that this box set is something that you must own, being an advocate for even the ropiest of episodes of classic Doctor Who. It's not a hill that's not worth dying on. That this stuff, it did make people's childhoods, and for a really good reason.
Yeah.
And you should never feel shame of liking any era of classic Doctor Who. That's just my excuse for loving Delta and the Band.
I was waiting for it.
I think people are probably wondering if we're going to keep waffling on for much longer, Sarah. I'm trying to hold off the inevitable, where we set our box sets free of their plastic. I have cheated a little because I am so particular about this.
Yeah.
I'm so careful about it. Whenever I break them out of the polythene, I use a scalpel usually to just open a corner because I find them so tricky. So I've already sort of done that. So I've already opened it a little.
You've cheated.
I know.
Well, I've got my scissors.
A head start on Sarah, so I'm gonna tear mine away now if I can remember where I've got that. There it is. Look. Okay. So there, it's. I'll start at the corner and take. Oh, there we are. It's coming off the top. This is thrilling entertainment.
This is thrilling.
This is where we need sort of lift music to play while we do this. Don't
we do that. Well, something. I saw it from the Full Monty. You can
leave your hat on. I was thinking more like the Potter's Wheel, but yours is. Yes, so here we go. See, it's always very tight as well. So you hear it crack, and I think, good God, hope it doesn't take half my box set with it. That's what I always end up thinking. And it's always a little harder to get it over the J card, but it's come off with one pull this time. Stop laughing at the back. There we are. So
never said a word. Okay. Yeah, it's better. Yeah, I'm always scared of when I get the scissors that I'm actually going to, dent.
That's why I use a scalpel. Are you snagging on anything there, my dear?
I am snagging. I'm snagging. Oh dear, I'm not doing. Oh God, I'd never get a job in. Oh no, I'm not going to say that.
The cuts.
From right.
Is it
I'm free.
Card yet? Yes, she's
free.
It's out. We're a go. And you know what I do when I open one of these sets? I always give it a good sniff as well.
Yeah. Oh, you do, yeah.
Yeah, I smell them. If that's not OCD, this is becoming a real confessional edition of Time
isn't it?
Isn't it? Yeah, but that's what I do.
It's a thing for all the senses.
And I know that some people, believe it or not, Sarah, they throw away the J card when you remove it.
No, you can't. You can't.
In the recycler, but they've got fabulous artwork on them in themselves. I mean, look at that.
I know, it's a gorgeous picture. Oh no, I always keep it.
And it reminds you of all the stuff, all the official stuff's all there on the back. It's always nice to see. And the legal stuff is there as well. So they have to say what the picture is, what resolution it's in, all that kind of thing. That's all there. But I just think they sit very nicely and snugly.
They do, yeah.
Snugly back in there when one needs them to. When you get the actual set out, I mean, some of them are thicker than others, aren't they? Steady on. Some of them are thicker than others. But this is really hefty.
It's,
This is really
I'll just.
hefty, isn't it? And so when you so when you pick it up, but I do like the fact they open like books too.
Yeah, no, I've always loved that. I love that it is like a book, and it is because it's a volume. Yeah, absolutely. And just first picture that you
Oh snap!
see.
Well, I'm wondering what that is on
Oh,
the back. Which story is that from?
is it Underworld?
Could be.
I don't know.
Let us know in the comments by all means, because I say there are certain elements of all of these stories, particularly Underworld and the Sunmakers, where I haven't been back to them that often, so I can't remember. I think it could be the Sunmakers. Come to think of it, so we open it up, and you're quite right. You get this Velcro door, don't you? Which is itself laden with more fabulous artwork. So yes, it's fine us sat here salivating about what's within our own grubby digits. Let's give you a closer look. Get it up on screen.
And here we are inside the season 15 Blu-ray box set that was released just last month, wasn't it, Sarah, from BBC Studios? Wasn't a long wait at all this time, was it? Fabulous artwork, like you've just described. What's the big bogey there on the artwork?
That's the Rutan. Is that?
Oh yeah.
Is this the controversial one? Because is that the new effect, not the original Rutan? Is that right? I don't know.
Is it the new effect? I think it is. I think it is a brand new effect, yeah. And I suppose you could say that it's controversial to include something from the updated special effects on the box artwork. For some.
For some, yeah, I can understand. Personally, it doesn't bother me, but I totally understand why it would irk, the purists.
Those exploding cogs, they're absolutely lovely stuff. Inside there we are, we've got, just as you were describing, it's the Doctor and Leela and K9 there on Gallifrey with a couple of the guards. Is that Andred on the right next to the Doctor? The drippy looking one?
Is, yeah. Yes.
Yeah. And the Doctor's smiling, as he often does. This is a fabulous picture. I like how you never really know which scenes Lee's going to go for with these sets, do you? Sometimes they're quite spectacular, other times they're smaller moments in a given story like this. Lovely, lovely stuff. And the tear of the Velcro as well, when you hear it open like that.
I mean, look at that. Oh, it's just a gorgeous shot.
Now, is that the same artwork that you get on the back of the J card?
I think it is. I'll just have a look.
It is.
Yes, it is.
And that's from the Horror of Fang Rock. Leela in her sexy sweater.
Yeah.
Ironically, I think that is the best look for Leela. It's strange enough. The more covered up she looks even hotter.
No, she does. She rocks it, and I love how you've got the colour of the sky. And you've got is that the Rutan land in the background? Yeah.
I've just realised that what Lee's done here is he's taken Jeff Cummings' original Target novelisation illustration from the front cover of Horror of Fang Rock, and he's turned it into sort of a full body, full length picture of the Doctor. He's extended it. Very, very clever. Brilliant. Inside what have we got? Inside the console room we have this booklet. Now, by now, anybody who's bought any item of Doctor Who merchandise probably has 5 or 6 of these, don't they? So this is the canon, isn't it? So you get the graphic novel checklist, including the Doom titles are all in there.
Lovely.
Apart from that, it's great. Yeah. Amazing World of Doctor Who. You got that. You've got the talking books there. The books, so those are the ones that are narrated. So you've got those. You have the Hornet's Nest trilogy on vinyl and Doomsday on vinyl to give somebody you really hate next Christmas. Brilliant. The 15th Doctor's first full adventure in a hardback novel form. That's out in January 2024 online and all that stuff. So this is new content. This is updated compared to the last one I saw, Sarah. There's that new sequence of books that came out for the anniversary. Yes, it's very, very nice. Advert for DWM and one for Forbidden Planet. So they have updated more exciting products from Doctor Who, it says underneath the diamond logo, and another diamond logo on the back. Fabulous. I like it. But then we've got the big, this is the main event, the big booklet. So this is the one we're used to seeing, isn't it? So how many pages are in this? 28 pages in exhaustive detail on all 6 stories and the production of the entire season, isn't it? Do you dive into these very much?
I do, yeah, I do with the book, yeah, because I just love soaking it all up. So everything from that era.
I'll
Yeah,
be
I do.
honest.
Yeah, and again
Sometimes I forget. Sometimes I forget they're in here. unless I keep them to hand, I do forget they're in here. And again, they're so beautifully designed. The typography is impeccable. Choice and individual illustrations too for each of the
yeah, oh, there's
stories.
some gorgeous photos as well, and yeah, the illustrations and.
It's also easy to read, though, isn't it, Sarah?
Mhm.
Even if you need your reading glasses, it's all there. What's it say? Welcome to season 15. So you get a general blurb about the season, and then everything broken down per story. Fabulous new illustrations. I understand that most of them are they by Lee Binding or some of them by Lee Johnson as well. Do they use 2 or 3 different
I'm not
artists? I'm not
sure.
sure. Some of this content, I believe, some of the copy comes from the complete history hardback books that came out a few years ago, which you can understand why rewrite what has already been heavily researched before. I would say that's probably pretty sensible. Going through each individual story. Oh, look at
Oh,
that
that's a lovely
picture.
sketch of K9, isn't it? Oh, I like
Yeah.
that.
No matter how many times I see it, I think it's adorable.
And that's a good model shot as well on Invisible Enemy.
Yeah. I remember that so much from when I was a kid, so strongly. Yeah, this K9's original owner, K9 himself, and that fabulous picture of Tom Baker for the image of Fendel. Oh yeah, they always impeccably put
Oh,
together.
that's the money shot. The model of the Fendel.
Yeah, yeah, he's working the doing what needs to be done, and the image of the Fendel illustration again, absolutely
Yeah,
stunning.
gorgeous.
They're the pictures that you want to see, aren't they? I mean, some of them, yeah, we've all seen that picture of Wanda Ventham from Image of the Fendel with the painted golden eyes so many times, but that never gets old either. Beautiful. Behind the scenes pictures, familiar publicity pictures, and brand new artwork means a perfect balance, I think, across the 28 pages that make up these booklets. I mean, look at that. That's a really nice piece of graphic design.
It's
That's the
gorgeous.
shield that Lily uses. So these shields, they have laser bolts that come out of the dead center, don't they? Do you remember? Have you seen
Yes,
that one?
I remember. Yeah, it always makes me think of like tortoise shells.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Brilliant. Yeah, I'd have to make a note. I think that's probably the best one of the set. Look how epic they make the Invasion of Time look there.
I know it is. It looks really epic.
Even 100 looks heroic.
It does.
Wow. Yeah, I'm having some of that. The gun that the Doctor uses in that reminds me of the one that Captain James T. Kirk holds in a lot of publicity pictures
Yes,
for
it
the
does.
original Star
Yeah.
Trek show. It's very pulpy, gloriously so. And you get information about what's on the bonus disc as well to wrap it all up. Oh, and what a lovely touch. You see this on the back, Sarah, these publicity pictures from...
Oh, that's lovely.
I like how the one on the left is labelled Doctor Who and K9. But Leela, her name doesn't even get mentioned on hers. It's like taken as read that everybody knows who Leela is, I suppose. Fabulous, fabulous touch. Yeah.
It
So,
is
how do
so
you feel
well.
about the logo remaining the Whittaker era logo on these? It's
Do you know what?
anachronistic, isn't it?
I don't really notice it anymore.
No, I don't
I
suppose
don't
either.
get angry, but I understand why, because it's the logo they started with. But again, because this collection has been running for longer now than Jodie's run, so I actually associate this logo with the collection DVDs and not her. So I haven't got that sad association, to be honest.
Yeah. To be honest, I have for quite a long time. And people who bailed on the Whittaker era almost certainly will have done. So yeah, I think it's only when you sit and think about it that you realise that it could be seen as anachronistic. Oh, look at this in them.
I know.
Open it
I'm
all
just
up.
looking at that.
Oh,
Yeah.
beautiful K9. You've got the high back chair, the hat stand with the Doctor's scarf and hat actually on it. And what's that? What's on the view screen, Sarah? It must be a scene from the Invisible
is it
Enemy.
the hospital from?
Could be.
That looks like the ambulance.
Yeah.
Oh, this is too nice just to be in a DVD box set. I want that on display and put my figures.
Tucked away behind Velcro flaps there, and this is that's the thing. I do tend to forget that it's all in here, which is on me. It's not on them. They're too well packaged. It's too well put together. You obviously have to fold it back in the right order. And the choice of clear Velcro on the illustration as well, rather than jet black, always appreciated.
Yeah, me too.
You push it
You're
close tight.
you're not covering anything up.
No. Onto the discs themselves. Now this is the area, the inserts, the trays that some people have had problems with over the years, not least of all our very own Simon Horton, isn't it? So has he described this to you, the various incidents that he's had, the mishaps?
He has, yeah. And I they're very fragile. And I'm always mindful of, when I'm opening them.
Because what's happened in Simon's case is that the very back one has come away from the cardboard inside. So Simon has done something I think he vowed he'd never do. He's actually ditched the limited edition ones and gone to the standard edition ones because I think he knows where he stands with a hard plastic box and hard plastic trays that are fixed. Here they're just glued in. There's just a few blobs of glue. Well, there was in the early sets. Literally a few blobs of glue. I think there were one at each corner, all four corners, and it was sort of you take, look at the drawer as to whether it's going to fall out or not, and take some of the back card with it. But as I understand it, they have listened to the complaints about that and adjusted them. So inside we have more original artwork. At least that isn't artwork that was in the booklet that's on that disc, is it, Sarah? I don't recognise it.
No, I don't think so. And I love the colour scheme again. It's all, it's all matching. But I mean, that's a brilliant shot. Look at the resignation on his face as he's looking up with that rope. It just makes me want to go and watch it.
Fabulous. That's a PG. That one, Horror of Fang Rock, surprising in this day and age. Wouldn't surprise me if it was a 12. Oh, but on the very next disc, which bears K9's image, that is a 12.
Well, why is Invisible Enemy a 12 and not Horror of Fang Rock?
Could it be because of the elements of sort of more body horror? I suppose in Horror of Fang Rock, it's just sort of gelatinous blobs going up and down staircases, whereas in Invisible Enemy, people sort of get it's kind of like lycanthropy, isn't it? So they go almost feral. Do you think that's what it could be? It's a bit namby-pamby, this.
It's a bit, no, but I mean, Horror of Fang Rock. I mean, the clues in the title, it just feels like a horror movie. You've got that atmosphere. There's that suspense. I could see that being a bit much, and all the bodies and you see the dead. Yeah, whereas the Invisible Enemy, it's very bright, and obviously there's peril, but I don't know, it just seems the peril doesn't seem as extreme as I'd have to rewatch it. Nothing's really coming to mind.
Obviously, what is scary does change, doesn't it, over the years? Our ideas of what is psychologically scary. That could be something. I just think that people need to get a life.
But then look, Image of Vandalism, I suppose, Image of Vandal isn't as spooky as Horror from Rock, I suppose. But again,
I would say that Image of the Fendel is by far the scariest of the stories. What's on screen? You've got ritual sacrifices, you've got gunplay, you've got a guy who, spoilers, a guy who takes his own life. I'm surprised.
Again, so again, you compare that to The Invisible Enemy, it just doesn't. We'll have to revisit this and compare.
Louise Jameson's on that one. Now, what did Tom Baker say about that particular outfit? So, what did she? I can't remember. There's a fantastic quote about the outfit that she wore in the Image of the Fendel. It was so tiny, even by Leela's standards. So yeah, there she is. this is nonetheless. Turning to the next tray, we have the Sun Makers. I can remember hardly anything about this story, Sarah.
Yeah.
It's always pretty much passed me by. I hope that coming to it again after a few years, that I'll find something in it to really latch onto. It's obviously, this one's by Robert Holmes as well, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
usually a
Oh, look,
surefire.
I really enjoy this one. Because it's always the one that gets trundled out with the Green Death when they say, Dr. Who's always been political.
Oh yeah,
So I thought, well, okay, then I'll give it a go. And it is, I'd say, I suppose it is on the nose for its time, but it's very humorously done. It's the problem with the Chibnall era is it wasn't done tongue in cheek.
no, it's deadly,
Um,
deadly serious with a
I
big
never
wag
felt
of the
like
finger.
you obviously get what the message Holmes wanted to convey, but he's never preaching at you. But
This feels so sturdy now compared to earlier sets. It really does. I've got complete confidence, he says, as he turns the next one. It
yeah,
all just
this is when it
falls to
breaks.
bits.
Yeah,
Yeah, next
this is the one, Underworld. This is the one that kind of passed me by. I don't think
Underpants.
it's not awful, but it's
But
just
this is
not.
hang on. The Sunmakers and Underworld are both 12s. The Hall of
What
Fame
is
rocks a PG.
what is the in Underworld? I'm definitely gonna have to rewatch it.
What do they know that we don't?
I don't know.
I say the Doctor does look very serious
Yeah.
on the disc art. Yeah, I've just noticed all the disc art. It all bears the same background from the Sunmakers.
Yeah.
It's quite unusual, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe I've not been paying enough attention to previous releases, but never got that before. To single out one element from one particular story like that.
Well, it works because obviously you've got the glow of the sun. It works as a aesthetic, I suppose. But yeah, no, I'd have to go back and look to compare. But yeah, I wouldn't. How very strange. Underworld is a 12.
Whereas when we get to the Invasion of Time, that's a PG. Leela, she's not a happy camper there, is she?
Oh.
You're about to be written out, love.
I'm literally going to say that. I'm going to suddenly fall in love with Andrew, at least convincing. There's no way that someone like Leela would fall with a wimp like Andrew. I don't even know why he was a guard. He was that.
She looks even hotter there, and she's covered literally from neck to foot, from neck to ankle. Is it the fact that strangely, the more Louise Jameson is covered up, the hotter that she looks? That's the perverseness of the 1970s Doctor Who.
Possibly,
that we don't speak about.
We did.
Yeah, too many conversations about leathers. Yeah, very, very nice. PG, very strange indeed. On to the bonus disc. I was going to say, do they bother with certificates on those? But they do. Even the bonus disc is a 12. That could be some of the bad language, though, to be fair.
Yeah.
People do drop F-bombs on those, don't they?
Yes, they do.
That's been known. And on that, if you can peer right deep into the bowels of the box set, you can see it's got Tom Baker in bright white Time Lord gown, wearing a coronet of some kind with the sash, and holding a scepter. I can never remember what they're called in the Invasion of Time. But again, it's strong image.
Very strong.
That's all 7 discs. So is it? There's been 9 in some sets, hasn't it? 7 isn't the biggest. I think there have been more. I can't remember which sets though. I think season 20 had more discs than come to think of it. Season 2, I think there was quite a lot.
Well, season 20 was an anniversary year, I suppose, so there was more.
There's about 3 versions of the 5 Doctors in that. So,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's very, very fixed. That thing is not budging. Having said that, it is still. I can see through the perspex here. There are still 4 blobs, but there could be additional blobbage at other more discreet locations. I don't know, but maybe they've used industrial strength.
Maybe. Well, I hope Simon sees this and is, heartened by this.
Yeah, you can turn the leaves and the trays with confidence. A little more confidence now. This says another fabulous presentation of these. Ooh. I like how K9's eye stalk there is just sort of his sensor. Eye stalk? That's a Dalek. How his sensor is just sort of leaving his brow. Very nice. So beautifully put together. And you're right, Sarah, that there's the definite theme. The golden colours go through the entire thing, don't they?
And it's lovely that, because you could just easily have just put any image on the discs, or just the a photo that we've all seen before. But I love how he has gone with that set design and picked some interesting scenes. I think it works really well. But I guess what I was saying about the effort that goes into it, even each disc is just beautiful.
I think the idea is to give fans something to treasure, and if this is the kind of the last throes of the physical media age, it seems only right that it's Doctor Who. There's nothing on that bottom side. I don't know why I thought there was. It seems only right that it's Doctor Who that goes out with the most glory. Several
I quite
ranges,
agree.
of course. We have that illustration on the back as well, which between us we've worked out comes from. Which store did we say it was?
I've got Underworld. The Sunmakers.
Underworld.
It's Underworld.
The Undermakers. It's from the Undermakers.
The Undermakers.
So say the Doctor Who experts on Type 40. Oh Jesus! Yes, whatever story it's from. Again, it's beautifully finished off.
Yes.
But the TARDIS itself, it's got the very low roof as well.
Yes.
I always forget about that. That nice little touch. So beautiful job there, as always, from the binding on the season 15 set. Now I never recycle the J cards. They always go snugly back inside there. It says confidently.
Yeah.
He has to go roof attack, as they say in Red Dwarf, going via the roof. And yeah, there we are. Snug as a bug.
I've got mine back in as well. Yeah. Oh no, it's got to stay in there. It just keeps it safe.
That's the season 15 Blu-ray box set, which is probably on your shelf now. Have you opened it or not? Let us know. Ours are now open. So do you feel better now it's open?
I do actually, yeah. And I'm glad I got to share the experience for you and not just
there we
open
are.
it but on my own. Because it isn't just unwrapping a normal, Blu-ray or DVD, is it? It is something special.
I think they're trying to hit the target of 3 releases a year again now. So yeah, any day now we should be finding out what's next.
Yes, so let us know in the comments section. The season 15 box set, have you opened yours yet? And how do you go in at these stories? Do you start right from the beginning with Horror of Fang Rock and work your way through, or do you do the unthinkable and start with whatever story springs to mind? That's what we want to know, isn't it, Sarah? Your scarf, by the way.
Yes.
Don't think I had noticed.
Yes.
What a beautiful touch.
Yeah. Well, I had to. It's we're talking about Tom. It'd be rude not to, wouldn't it? And it is the correct scarf as well.
So yes, there we are with our unboxing of season 15 on Blu-ray. I have to be honest, Sarah, I said to you, didn't I? I don't know. Do people still watch unboxing videos? Is it a case of once you've seen one, you've seen them all? Particularly when you're talking about a range of box sets where they all come in J cards, they've all got tray inserts. It's a format that's been really well established, isn't it? But apparently people really do like these. So
we do. Well, fingers crossed. Please let us know if you've been entertained. Or whether we just bought the pants off yet.
I think, you know what? I'm going to be true to form. I'm going to go straight for the Graham Williams documentary.
Yeah.
That'll be the first thing that I watch in my season 15 box set. How about you?
It's going to be a fascinating watch, yeah. I usually go for the episodes first and then the extras. So yeah, it'll be definitely Horror of Fang Rock for me.
There you go. So that's our 2 pennies worth on this and then some. Let us know what you think and how you're going at it there in the comments section. And while you're at it, remember to check out the playlists for podcasts, live streams, other videos, and everything else here at Type 40, particularly as we approach a brand new series, new season of Doctor Who starring Ncuti Gatwa. Of course, the weeks are, we're getting into single figures now, aren't we? It's not long at all, and we'd like your views about all of that. Of course we would. And let us know your favourite story of season 15 and why. Thanks for sharing this beautiful moment with me, Sarah.
That's
I'll always
okay.
remember now where I was when I opened my season 15
You
box
will.
set and who I was with.
with.
We'll see you probably. We might see you on the next one, Sarah. I can't remember because we've got several of these recorded and we always put them out of order. You might be on the next one, but you might not.
Be.
But that's part of the fun of being a Doctor Who fan, isn't
It
it?
is. Never know where I'm going to end up.
We'll see you in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye.